So, I'm doing a quick video. None of my videos are ever quick, though, once I get ranting, but I'm not getting on political. I got to start getting on some of the things I started this video, little journey with 6 months ago, 7 months ago, when I started talking about getting to work and, getting your fortune back, getting your life back, and so forth, because I have a lot of new things in the works, starting a corporation and doing some new investing and things like that, things that I've got going on that, would be worth talking about and might become interesting 2-3 years from now, you know what I mean? But I wanted to talk briefly about my COVID-19 experience. So it is like the 25th of April now. It started to feel weird Wednesday, Thursday, the week of the 20th. Friday is the 20th in March. So we're talking like 5 weeks ago. Like that Wednesday, Thursday, no cough, no fever, just something felt weird about me. But I just was like, oh, maybe it's nothing. I'm not sleeping enough. Friday, I was at work. I started to run a fever. I started to not feel good. I told my boss I'm going home. So he said I'd go home. I went to the hospital. Hospital took me in. Oh, you have a fever, blah, blah, stuck me in a room. They gave me some Tylenol, broke the fever. And they're like, okay, you can just go home. And I'm like, that's it? And they're like, yeah, no flu test, no COVID test. They did a chest x-ray. They said, you don't have pneumonia, you can go home. Okay. All right, whatever. It was March. When they were trying to tell us how many confirmed cases there were. I go home. That night, my fever spiked over 103.5. Might have been like almost 104, I forget. So then I went to urgent care to pay for my visit. They did a COVID-19 test, and they did a type A and a type B flu test, which is what the hospital should have did. Both came back negative. I went immediately. I was already quarantined by that point. My wife set me up upstairs. Bathroom, bedroom, that was it. Kids stayed downstairs. Sheets all along the stairs, so no airbound could make its way down. And she fed me under like the second sheet, and then I'd go under the sheet and grab it, but like never any contact. I stayed up there for like 20 days. It was bad. I'm not gonna lie. The first week was bad. Then like the first week was crap, and then like around day 3 or 4, I started to feel a little better. And then by that Friday, where 1 week was up, I was crap again. Then that Monday, like 9 days afterwards, I felt better, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I started cleaning up. Maybe I'll be out of here in a couple days. Let me get everything together. Tuesday was a nightmare. I hit a brick wall. I was bad. Symptoms the first couple days, especially, were body pains, fever, headache, bad. Diarrhea, no vomiting, chills, loss of taste, loss of smell. I did a couple videos on Instagram. Every day I did like a 1-minute video just to say I was still alive. Body cold and hot, couldn't keep my temperature down. You want to sleep a lot. Everybody asks me, oh, did you have this? Did you have that? Listen, not everybody gets the same symptoms. So stop getting your medical advice off Facebook. Morons. There's no that. Remember everybody saying, oh, if you hold your breath for 10 seconds, you don't cough, you don't got it? Well, I did that. And guess what? I had it. I tested positive. So it's not true. Drinking lots of water. Not true. Unless you're a Trump tard. If you're a Trump tard, then it's all true. Bleach up the bunghole. IV lights down your throat. Drink the disinfectant or inject it. All great ideas. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, if you don't have this, it must have... It's all misinformation. Like, even the doctor. So I have a doctor, my personal doctor, who's actually really good. Because I called him about... Okay, so I stayed home for 3 weeks. I had symptoms for about 2. Then I stayed home for a whole week before I started reintegrating into like my kids. I hadn't seen my kids, hugged my kids in 3 weeks. Still stayed in the house, though, till about 3.5 weeks. Just to not even leave the house, you know what I mean? Haven't been back to work. Now we're at week like 5. So about a week ago, I called my doctor to get a letter saying I'm free, see if I'm immune, if I can go back to work, if I can go out in the world without being contagious to anybody, blah, blah, because they say you're supposed to be immune. No tests. Nobody's doing tests. And my doctor's good. He's very frank. Because I'm like, all right, well, shouldn't I be immune? He goes, maybe not, blah, blah. He goes, I said, well, I heard this. He goes, yeah, we hear lots of things, but none of it's been verified. And I like it that he's very frank about it. He goes, we don't know. We don't know right now. You could be contagious, and we don't know. Most likely you're not. Most models show that you're not. The original SARS, because this is like SARS-2, usually you were not contagious after you had it, especially if you had severe symptoms, which I did. You know what I mean? But here we are a month later. I still got shortness of breath. Right now I can feel it a little bit. So what does that mean? You know what I mean? Now there's rumors that there could be permanent damage to your lungs. How about that, huh? Like we're all like mesothelioma people, or like thelioma. I don't know how to say it. You know what I'm talking about, the asbestos. And like they permanently can't breathe right, because of that. What if it scars your lungs and that's what this does? And I got to deal with this the rest of my life. Could you imagine? Was there going to be like a COVID-19 fund by Congress? And but I'm definitely going to do another video about the money too, because it's getting retarded what they're doing with money, and it's just so hilarious how many Republicans were like, not Bernie, we can't have socialism, and then like, but let's let the government just hand out checks all day long. Corporations, no oversight. $4.5 trillion. And yeah, you're saying, no, it was only 450 billion or 500 billion, because you don't understand fractional banking, because you're a low information person and you're stupid, so you think that. It's not, all right? That's not how it works. Yes, there's 500 billion to go out, and they'll end up giving out 5 trillion or 4.5 trillion, because they're going to be able to loan it at a 10-to-1 ratio, and you don't have to totally understand it because it might be over your head, but trust me, with no oversight. Oh, that's great. Oh, there was oversight? Yeah, Trump fired all the guys that were the oversight. Just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. Oh my God. This stuff that goes on in this country is unbelievable. But anyway, so, but I feel better. I felt good for about 2 weeks. Still can't really run. Still get out of breath if I run too much, talk too much, yell a little bit. I'll start running out of breath. No fevers. I may cough. I don't cough anymore, but I was coughing like twice a day. Like I get a tickle in my throat and cough and stuff like that. So I'm back out in the world. We run around. I still try to avoid people and go to the store when it's necessary and stuff. I don't break. I try to, if I break into quarantine rules only because I'm driving somewhere, driving back, I'm not interacting with anybody. You know what I mean? I don't see anything wrong with that. But I do see things wrong with like mass gatherings and stuff. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I just, not yet. You know what I mean? There's ways around it, but we do have to do something to open this country back up. I hate to break it to you, because the government doesn't have unlimited money. This is going to come home to roost someday. In my lifetime, you're going to see some that you don't even understand. Like I'll get into the money thing, how the government's been propping up the market and propping up the debt market and all the stuff they're doing. They've gone crazy again, just like they did in '08. And it was necessary because of the games that a lot of people played with money, and they had to cover their butts because we can't let those people go under. But, there's a lot of people getting pissed off because, like, what was that? There's a comedian. He's famous now. He did like a 3-minute rant. I'm not going to go that far with my rant, but because I'm staying on COVID. But like, it is important that like the aid has to get to the people that need it, and the people that need it are not the multi-billion-dollar corporations. They have lines of credit. They're going to be fine. They'll get through a couple months. If they go under, it's not the end of the world. Yes, a lot of people lose their jobs. Somebody else will take their place, fill that hole in the market, and then they'll be back to work. Like it's a cycle. It's you know what I mean? It's not like, we make the computer chips for the world. We're Intel, and we shut down, and then all of a sudden nobody's going to step up and make computer chips? No. There's going to be 6 companies pop up overnight, and they're going to make computer chips, and they're going to have to hire people, and guess who they're going to hire? They're going to hire the people that work for Intel, because they're going to want the experience. It's just that's how a free market's supposed to work. But when you constrict the free market, like we're doing right now, and you artificially prop it up and interfere, making $1 trillion platinum coins, like this shit is just... Anyway. But a month later, 5 weeks later, I feel better. I'm still treated like a social leper now, though. We go to drop the call for an enterprise. They want to know if anybody been around anybody who had COVID. I go to the hospital. I'm not allowed in the hospital. And I'm like... So if I walk in the hospital and I'm coughing up a lung because I have COVID-19, you're going to accept me and take me in. But if I tell you I had it 5 weeks ago and I'm symptom-free and I'm over it, I'm most likely immune, you don't want me to come in the hospital? Like, you know what I mean? Like, wait, what? But I digress. And now I'm trying to find someone to give my blood to help somebody, because apparently it's working. People in the ICU are dying because apparently these plasma infusions with the antibodies for people like me that beat it help. I don't know how long I'm good for. It's been a couple weeks now. So I'm trying to get the test done. Red Cross numbers were out of service. The HO had nothing. They sent me to the Red Cross. I called the Mount Sinai people. They never came back to me. I called Rutgers. You couldn't leave a message. I called them twice. Can't even leave a message on the voicemail. So I'm assuming they have unlimited plasma for all these people in intensive care. Or someone needs to figure out what the hell's going on. Like, it is unbelievable to me now. We are 4 months into this COVID thing, and you still, the simplest of things like, hey, an antibody test to find out if I'm immune or if I still have it, can't get it done. Nobody will help you. You know what I mean? Like, are you serious? Like, really? Like, we're that incompetent as a country that in 4 months we still can't get this together? Tell me again how great the leadership is. Tell me again how unimportant it is, the president being a good leader. Because trust me, it's important. It shows. You know what I mean? Like, come on. He's got his doctors doing shit like looking into ultraviolet testing and stuff. And it's not a joke. They really do jump and step and fetch for him. They're all little cowards. They don't want to lose their job. I gotta get my paycheck. I'll do whatever you want, sir. I don't care if people die. You know what I mean? I'll run around and waste my time doing BS experiments because the president said so, instead of doing what actually needs to be done to help people. Still don't have enough tests. Come on, man. I mean, the test is a little stick, Q-tip with some chemical on it. You know what I mean? I can hear you to be a backlog of getting results on the tests. It can't be that hard to make those tests. Come on, man. Like, you can't, there's no factory in America that can pump them out 10,000 an hour. It's a long Q-tip. The company Q-tip can't make them. It's a Q-tip inside a tube with a chemical on it. Are you serious right now? That's the kind of stuff we deal with in America. Like, you know, and why didn't, like, Korea run short on tests? They'd have less people, of course. But every state ran short, too. It's not like any particular state. So any state is the size of Korea. You know what I mean? I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm sure there's 50 million people in Korea, 15 million. It's got to be something, 15 million people. I don't know. It's in the millions. I mean, it's a pretty populated place. You know, they didn't have a problem, you know. Did Italy have a problem with testing? They're still shut down. Now they're talking about reopening. And they're scared because they're not reopening because they care about your rights. They're not reopening because they care if you live or die. They're reopening because it's going to help the stock market. It's going to help businesses. And don't get me wrong, I'm a capitalist. Businesses are important. Stock market's important to some extent. You know, in the long run, it's more important than people realize. But right now, we should be getting better deals. But I'm not getting into that. That's another video. But so now I'm 5 weeks out. I'm a social leper. No one wants to come near you. Even though I'm probably the least contagious person on the planet. Now they just found out the stuff is airborne. They're finding COVID-19 in air pollution, which means it's out there. You know what I mean? Like, you got it, you know? Like, a lot more than 1 million people have COVID-19. Every time they test, like a group, like they tested that homeless shelter in Boston, 350 people, and 149 tested positive with, like, no symptoms. So you could have it, not have symptoms. A lot more people have it than 1 million. It's probably 100 million at this point. You know what I mean? It really is. Now, does that mean the death rate is better than it is? Yeah, but okay, so they say it's more like the flu. Remember, you'll see my video where I made it. You're an idiot if you say COVID-19 is just like the flu. But they're saying the death rate might be more like the flu. Here's a newsflash. Some people catch the flu and have the virus. They would test positive, but are asymptomatic or have very mild symptoms. So they never go to the doctor. They never become a confirmed flu case. Do you get it? It works for both of them. You can't just say, oh, well, COVID-19's death rate's actually a lot lower because a lot of people never get tested and never become confirmed cases, so the death rate is lower than 3% or 3.6. But then not say that about the flu. It's like when Trump was saying Obama's unemployment rate was fake because there's 50 million people that aren't in the workforce anymore. No, and they're not counted, and they make you aware of that. They're retired or independently wealthy or whatever, so they don't have a job. And then when Trump takes office, we don't talk about that. No, everything's got to be apples to apples, oranges to oranges. You know, everybody catches the flu every year. They say, 30 million people catch the flu every year. I'll bet you it's more like 300 million. I bet you everybody catches the flu every year. Probably more than once. You don't even know you have it. You have some mild version. You have a cough one day. The next day you feel better. It's done. They don't count them. So it goes both ways. You know what I mean? But anyway, so now my son's in the hospital. Tyler, he's sick. He tested negative. He tested negative a week ago, tested negative now. But he has pneumonia. Broke out in a rash, fevers, diarrhea, nausea, chills, all this stuff, But he can taste, he can smell. And they're saying that's, one of the signs it might not be COVID-19 because apparently that's a very common symptom. And it sucks. You can't taste food. Like, it's crazy. And I didn't start tasting food till 3 weeks later. But so far, it was scary for a hot minute. When it got really bad, when I was coughing and I couldn't breathe and everything like that. I wrote it out. I wasn't never ever really worried, but my wife was worried. My kid's probably a little worried. I feel bad for that, but in the end, I'm okay. I'm fine. You know what I mean? I don't smoke. I don't drink. I did have bad asthma as a kid. And I was afraid that might come back to bite me because that would be my headline. If I died, it would be, oh yeah, but he had asthma as a kid. That was his pre-existing condition. But so far, I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed in the medical care I got, where I wasn't tested. I'm very disappointed I had to wait 8 days to get the results of my test. I'm very disappointed I can't get a second test. I'm very disappointed I can't get an antibody test. I can't give blood. I'm trying to help people, and you can't get a hold of nobody. Oh, and then don't defend them. Say, oh, they're in it. Then the system should have been prepared for this. It's been 4 months. Up your game. Or get someone else to do it. Get someone else to run it. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not buying that. Anyway. So, that's my story. It's been 5 weeks. I'm still alive. Residual effects have been shortness of breath, chest pain occasionally and stuff. Does it mean maybe it triggered my asthma? You know, I had really bad asthma as a kid. The doctors told me when I hit my 40s, it was going to come back. I've had maybe 2 asthma attacks in 5 years, so it really didn't come back. But I haven't been exercising a lot as much. Not as much running and stuff. But, that's not true. I did, when I was working out a year ago and 2 years ago, I ran a lot. So the asthma hasn't really bothered me. But could it get triggered? Do I have permanent scar tissue? When am I going to find this out? Do I have to go get a CT scan, which I do, and I will. Am I still contagious? Or am I not? I mean, you know what I mean? Are you all going to die, and I'm going to be Will Smith, I Am Legend, kicking it back in my penthouse in New York, and you're all running around hiding from the sunlight? I'm all right with that, too. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be as dumb as him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sleeping in a house with metal. I'm sleeping in, like, a freaking bank vault or something. You ain't getting to me. When that sun goes down till the sun comes up, I'm in the bank vault. Maybe not a vault because they're not airtight, but I'll build a vault. I'll literally take, like, 40-yard containers, and I will weld them together, multiple layers that you zombies are not getting to me. So if I'm the last one left because I'm immune now and you're not, oh well, that's the way it is. All right? My wife is bothering me. I got to go. All right, so that's my update on COVID-19. I survived. You know what I mean? Everything about it has been terrible. Everything about the disease, the response, the medical care, everything's been terrible. Go on my IG and you'll see the video of when I was first getting tested for the COVID-19 at urgent care, and I was like in the back parking lot with dumpsters around me, and that's how they saw me. All right, NJJEFFF, New Jersey Jeff with 3 Fs on IG, and you can see the videos.